That's them, that's own. Yeah. All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Texarkana, Texas City Council. Today is Monday, October the 14th. It's also Columbus Day, so those of you who may have been off today for the holiday, certainly hope you had a great day. And we'd like to welcome everyone to our council meeting this evening, those that are joining us in the audience as well as those who are joining us live stream. At this time, I'll call on our City Secretary, Ms. Jennifer Evans, to provide a roll call. Ms. Evans?
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Hart? Ms. Page?
Here.
Ms. Matlock?
Here.
Mr. Metter?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Hey, we do have a full council this evening, and we're also honored to have some scouts with us this evening. They're with Troop 86, and I believe another one just came in a couple of minutes ago. So what's his name? Galvin? Okay. Cone, is that C-O? Combs. Okay, Calvin Combs. Okay, so we have Calvin Combs, we have Sam McGinnis IV, and we also have Duncan Powell. And they're going to lead us in the pledge this evening. They're going to come forward and do that. And then Councilmember Metter will provide the invocation. So if everyone will please stand. United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Bow with me, please. Heavenly Father, I want you to thank you so much for this day. Lord, I ask for your presence here and during our meeting. Please be involved with our discussions, our action, and please let it lead us closer to your will. Heavenly Father, it is an honor to serve here. Thank you so much for the opportunity for us to do that this evening. Lord, please extend our blessings in our great city, our people, and those who call it home. In your heavenly name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, very good. You may be seated. If our Boy Scouts would come back up, I'd like to present you with a couple with a city lapel pins. So guys, if you'll come back up for just a second. Again, we want to thank you all for being here this evening. We want to thank you all for being here this evening, and thank you for everything that you do in the community relating to scouting. They're here this evening working on a couple of community badges, communications and citizenship. Is that right? In the community, okay? So we certainly thank you for being here this evening. Hope you find our meeting to be informative. And I would like to present to each one of you one of our city lapel pins, which represents, as you can see on the wall here, the seal of our great city, which was founded in 1873. And we present that to citizens in the community for distinguished service, and you all certainly fit that bill. And once again, thank you for being here this evening, and hope you enjoy the rest of the meeting. Okay, all right, thank you. Oh, did you get a picture? Okay, good. Did you get yours, Dr. McGinnis? Okay, all right, good, thank you. In reference to remarks and items of community interest, our next council meeting is scheduled for Monday, October the 28th, and then we will have one council meeting during the month of November, as well as one meeting during the month of December. And those upcoming dates will be not Monday, but Tuesday, November the 12th. That Monday, the day before, is Veterans Day. So we'll be meeting on Tuesday, November the 12th, and then Monday, December the 9th will be our next upcoming council meetings, in addition, once again, to Monday, October the 28th, and this will close us out for 2024. Certainly has been a very busy year and a very, very quick year. In reference to Parks and Recreation activities, on October the 15th, we'll have our Fall Farmers Market from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., and that will be held at Spring Lake Park. October the 16th through the 19th is the Major League Fishing Regional Tournament from 7:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m., and this will be at Lake Wright-Patman in Sportsman's Cove. October the 17th is the Fall Festival at 4 p.m. at Spring Lake Park. That's always a big event each year. October the 17th is also Movies in the Park, and the featured movie that evening will be E.T. at 6:30 p.m. at Spring Lake Park. And I had one of my co-workers who took his family out to Movies in the Park last week, and he shared that they really enjoyed going to the movie, and there was a very large turnout for that, and so he was very thankful that the city provides this to our citizens. And so once again, the movie feature for this week will be E.T. October the 22nd is the Fall Farmers Market from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. October the 24th, Movies in the Park, and this is an old classic that we show each year, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which was produced by and directed by the late Charles B. Pierce, and it will be held at Spring Lake Park at 6:30 p.m. And additional Parks and Recreation information can be found on the city's website. And before I move any further, I want to just pass along a couple of further notes. I'd like to recognize one of our former mayors, Mayor James Bramlett. Mayor Bramlett was recognized this past Friday as one of the annual TISD Distinguished Alumni. He was the class of 1975. In addition to that, Dr. Charles Blankenship, class of 1967, and Evelyn Palfrey McKee, the Dunbar High School class of 1967. Judge McKee served as a municipal judge for the city of Austin, Texas for many years, and is now retired and lives with her family in Oklahoma City. And so it was a delight to see all three of these distinguished alumni recognized and being able to listen to their remarks. I know Councilmember Page was there for that luncheon, and Councilmember Davis was there as well. So we want to recognize those three recipients, including James Bramlett.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Ms. Matlock?
Do you remember Miss Palfrey and that book that she read at the Dunbar reunion?
I do. Yes, ma'am, I sure do. I sure do. And that's where I first met her, when she was recognized for the Dunbar class. Yes. So, yes, ma'am. Very, very nice lady. So, has had a very distinguished career. Also, we have early voting that's coming up real soon. I think it begins on October the 21st, and so those polling locations will be at the Bowie County Courthouse, also at the Southwest Center, and then looking over the schedule, it looks like we have a new early voting site that was formerly the Walnut Church of Christ. I hope I'm not stealing your thunder, David, for your remarks earlier and later. But the other early voting location will be at the Northside Assembly of God, which is located at 5801 Summerhill Road. And for those who plan to early vote at that location, they're asked to enter the church building at the east entrance. Once again, early voting will begin on Monday, October the 21st. And at this time, move along to our further announcements at the Pro Theater events. The Rocky Horror Picture Show will be featured on Friday, October the 18th, and the show will begin at 8 p.m. And then a charity event featuring the late night comedian Mr. Jay Leno will be held on Saturday, October the 26th at 7:30 p.m. And the tickets for the Pro Theater shows are available at protheater.org. That's going also a very, very busy weekend. The annual NAACP banquet will be held that same evening on October the 26th, and it will be at 7 p.m. at the Truman Arnold Center on the campus of Texarkana College. So a lot of activities coming up in the very next distant and near future. At this time, move along to our open forum, comments from the public. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to address the council, you're welcome to do so. You will have up to 5 minutes to speak on any topic. If you are here this evening and you're wanting to speak on behalf of one of our public hearing items, then I ask if you will wait until we get to that particular public hearing item. We're more than happy to listen to your comments at that time. We also ask that you complete the form that you see on the rack there on the wall next to the door so that we will have a written record of your being here this evening. Ms. Evans, did we have any sheet? We did not have any sheets filled out. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening? All right, not seeing anyone coming forward, we'll move now along with move along to appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Do we have any appointments to be made by the council this evening?
I have one, Mayor.
Councilmember Metter?
I'd like to appoint Sierra Green to the Historic Landmark Preservation Committee.
Okay, all right. Do we have Mr. Thompson?
Yes, I do. I'd like to appoint Judith White to the Historic Landmark Preservation Committee.
Okay, do we have any others? I have a mayoral appointment I would like to appoint this evening. I would like to appoint Sarah Krishna. That's Krishna, Sarah Krishna. I'd like to appoint her to the Library Commission. Dr. Fred Hutchison, who has served on the Library Commission for many years, has elected not to continue a term. I certainly want to thank Dr. Hutchison for his dedicated service to the Library Commission, but I would like to appoint Sarah Krishna as a replacement for Dr. Hutchison. Are there any others this evening? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval to approve the appointments that have been made. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis and a second by Councilmember Page. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. I want to thank these citizens for their interest in serving on these very important committees. At this time, we'll move along to items for consideration. We do have several items this evening on the agenda. I guess I could say that perhaps our council meeting this evening is being sponsored by the Texarkana Regional Airport, as they are taking up most of our agenda this evening. So we do have Paul Merlick, the airport director, to provide additional information in reference to these items that we have upcoming. Once again, consent items. Item number 1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council held on September 23rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. Item 2 is resolution number 2024-123, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director executing a Phase 2 agreement with McClelland Engineering for construction of the apron in the amount of $252,611.87, approved in the Texarkana Regional Airport Fiscal Year 24 capital budget. Item number 3, resolution number 2024-124, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director to execute a Phase 2 agreement with GDS LLC, DBA Ambrosi Contracting for construction of the apron in the amount of $2,168,610, approved in the Texarkana Regional Airport Fiscal Year 24 capital budget. Item number 4, resolution number 2024-125, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director to execute an agreement with McClelland Engineering for runway 422 extend, expand, design in the amount of $480,376.97, approved in the Texarkana Regional Airport Fiscal Year 24 capital budget. Item number 5, resolution number 2024-126, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director to execute an agreement with McClelland Engineering for runway 422 extend, expand, design in the amount of $80,050, approved in the Texarkana Regional Airport Fiscal Year 24 capital budget. Unless a council member would like to pull one or more items for further consideration, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as it has been presented. Is there a motion for approval?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock, a second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The consent agenda has been approved. We'll now move along to action items. We do have 2 action items this evening. Item 6 is resolution number 2024-119, nominating 1 of 5 candidates for membership on the Board of Directors for the Bowie Central Appraisal District. And our CFO, Kristen Peoples, is going to provide some additional information pertaining to this resolution. Good evening, Kristen.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. There are currently 5 appointed positions on the Bowie Central Appraisal District Board of Directors. In the past, nominations for these positions have been made in the fall of odd-numbered years. This process was recently changed during a special legislative session, and due to this change, the Board of Directors that were nominated in October 2023 are all up for reappointment again this year. In prior years, the Council has determined that it is in the best interest of the city to select 1 nominee and then cast all the votes allocated to the city for the 1 nominee. The current appointment process calls for 2 appointed members to serve a 1-year term and 3 appointed members to serve a 3-year term. Thereafter, all appointed directors will serve a term of 4 years. The appraisal district is waiting for further direction on how to stagger the terms. The city's current representative on the board is Jay Davis. And so at this time, it'll just be that the council will need to select a nominee that you would like to place on the resolution, and then we will provide that to the appraisal district.
Okay. All right, and Councilmember Davis has been serving in this role for quite some time. He's done a very, very good job, and I understand, Mr. Davis, you have an interest in continuing to serve in that role?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, so any questions from the council relating to the resolution? Anything else, Kristen? Okay, all right, thank you very much. All right, so this time I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution number 2024-119, nominating Councilmember Jay Davis to represent the city of Texarkana, Texas, on the board of directors for the Bowie Central Appraisal District. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Matlock. This pertains to a resolution, so there's not a caption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes. Mr. Davis, thank you once again for your service to this very important committee. Item
Thank
number
the council.
7.
I do thank the council for that as well.
Okay, all right, very good, thank you. Moving on to item number 7, resolution number 2024-127, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement for design build services with Bill Patton for the assembly line project in an amount not to exceed $2 million with funds budgeted in the 2023 bond fund, Fund 426. And our city manager, Dr. David Orr, will provide additional information on this item. Dr. Orr?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you said, the Assembly Line project was approved as part of projects in the 2023 bond fund. This project consists of remodeling the old Discovery Place Children's Museum downtown, located at 215 North State Line Avenue. And in a partnership with both cities, Texarkana College, Texas A&M, Texarkana, the University of Arkansas Hope, Texarkana, and Artex Ready. A design-build project with Bill Patton consisting of architectural and construction services is needed for the project. Staff recommends approval of the design-build agreement that's located in your packet, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Dr. Orr on this item? Any further questions or discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval. Is there a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Thompson. Once
Mayor,
again,
I will be abstaining from this one.
okay, all right, so we'll need to have a roll call vote on this. So we have a motion, we also have an approval. Once again, this is a resolution, so there's not a caption. Ms. Evans, roll call, please.
Mr. Davis?
Abstain.
Ms. Hart?
Yes.
Ms. Page?
Yes.
Ms. Matlock?
Yes.
Mr. Metter?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Okay, we had 5 votes for,
Mayor Brueggemann?
yes. Okay, so we have 6 votes for yes and then 1 abstention, so the resolution does pass, all right? We now move along to our first briefings. Item 1 is resolution number 2024-120, approving the Texarkana Airport Authority approving a right-of-way easement for Southwestern Electric Power Company, SWEPCO, to place an electrical transformer. And we will have a public hearing on this item as well as our other first briefing items. Public hearings are scheduled for our next meeting on October the 28th, and then council consideration at that time. We have our airport director, Mr. Paul Merlick, here to brief us on this item. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening. So this first item, anytime that the airport encumbers their property, we have to get permission from both city councils to do that. This easement is to allow SWEPCO to place an electric transformer that will allow us to begin collecting electricity from the solar panel array that we have, as well as provide power to the lights that come in on TXK Boulevard. So right now we have the lights in place, but they are dark until we're able to get this put in.
Okay, all right. All right, any questions for Paul on this item? And things going well with the new terminal, Paul?
Yes, sir. You know, we are slowly but surely getting ready for our next phase. As you saw, we're going to be working on the apron and expanding that and starting to get underway to do the runway extension.
Okay. Well, I've certainly continued to hear lots of compliments about the appearance of the new terminal, and so it's a beautiful facility. So
We'll do what we can.
okay, item number 2 is, any questions from the council on this particular item? If not, move along to item number 2, resolution number 2024-121, approving the Texarkana Airport Authority approving an easement with Project Moonbeam to clear and maintain property south of East 19th Street, Texarkana, Arkansas. Paul?
All right, so Project Moonbeam is working with the Chamber of Commerce to develop a property on East 19th Street, kind of right at the curve before you come into the airport. When East 19th Street was built, it cut a sliver of the airport's property on the south side, and so we're actually between East 19th Street and the Chamber's property. This easement gives permission to that company to be able to clear trees and brush in perpetuity without the airport having to come in and put any money into that.
Okay, all right. Any questions on that item? Okay. If not, move along to item number 3, resolution number 2024-122, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director sending the 2025 to 2030 through 2030 capital improvement plan in the amount of $135,651,402 to the Federal Aviation Administration, also known as the FAA. Paul?
So with this, the Federal Aviation Administration requires annually for us to give them a 5-year plan projection of all of our capital projects in order for them to begin working on our grant funding applications for them. Each year, we bring our capital plan to the city for approval. So a portion of this was requested last year, and then a portion of this was requested in this year's capital projects. This then gives you kind of an outlook going then beyond 26 through 2030. A majority of this is going to be the runway extension, runway overlay, a taxiway extension, taxiway widening, and then building a new aircraft maintenance hangar. That portion of it will be an industrial revenue bond. We will have to work with the two cities. Most likely it will be held by Texarkana, Arkansas, because the airport itself does not have bond issuing authority.
Okay. Any questions on this item? All right. We'll now move along to item number 4. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate your being here this evening. Item number 4 is resolution number 2024-128, adopting the city's investment policy, and this will be briefed to us by Kristen Peoples. Kristen?
Good evening again. The Public Funds Investment Act requires that the city annually adopt an investment policy and investment strategies. The city's investment consultant, Valley View Consulting, has assisted staff with this policy and verified that it complies with state requirements. The proposed changes to the policy have been reviewed and accepted by the Investment Committee, which consists of 2 representatives from the city, 2 from TWU, and the mayor. I'll go through each of the proposed changes. There's a total of 4. and they're fairly minor. The first one is addition of the following investment strategies: suitability of the investment to the financial requirements of the city, preservation and safety of principal, liquidity, marketability of the investment if a need to liquidate arises prior to maturity, diversification of the portfolio, and the yield. The PFIA states that each investment policy must describe the investment objectives, so we've added this list for clarity. The second change is in the section titled Investment Strategy, Section C. It's removing the sentence, volatility shall be further controlled through the purchase of securities carrying the highest coupon available within the desired maturity and quality range without paying a premium if at all possible, and adding the wording, any investment authorized by this policy is suitable for these funds. Removing this sentence will give the city more flexibility to review options each time an investment is needed and select the best choice available at that time. The next changes in the section A, scope of the investment policy, and it updates the report name to the Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, and that's just based on the name of the report as it is with GFOA currently. And then the last changes that we've added to the policy is to update 2 titles for the TWU staff, changing one position from accounting/human resources manager to the title of controller, and changing the position title of finance director to assistant director-finance for TWU in various places. So that's mentioned several times in the policy, and we've made those updates based on the current titles that those positions are called. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions. Everything else remained the same as what you approved last time.
Okay. Any questions for Kristen? Okay, and then on this particular item, we will not.
You do consider these minor changes?
Yes, sir, I do.
They do seem to be minor.
I do. They don't impact the overall policy. It's just a little bit of housekeeping.
Okay, I'm new to this, so I want to ask.
Yes, sir, I
Thank you.
understand.
All right, thank you, Mr. Thompson. And we will take action on this item at our next meeting. There will not be a public hearing held on this particular item, as well as there will not be a public hearing on the next item, our last item, which is item number, thank you, Kristen, which is item number 5, resolution number 2024-130, adopting the city's budget strategic plan. And Dr. Orr is going to brief us on this item.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. So the Government Finance Officers Association, GFOA, recommends that governments engage in strategic planning to provide a vision for the future that can be aligned with budgeting and organizational priorities. The proposed budget strategic plan includes the city's previously adopted vision statement, mission statement, core values, and goals for the city, and is intended to be a guide for the city's fiscal budget development and implementation process. The 5 primary goals include to continue to improve working relationships with Texarkana, Arkansas, Bowie County, state, and federal partners, encourage economic development through business retention and planning, promote long-term growth of the community, improve interdepartmental collaboration to enhance city services, and to promote community and regional assets. Each of these goals are then backed by action items for each department to work throughout the budget year. The proposed budget strategic plan will be updated annually throughout the budget process, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. Any questions for Dr. Orr on this item? Okay. Once again, we'll take action on this item at our next meeting on October the 28th. This concludes our first briefings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to our public hearings. We do have 3 public hearings scheduled this evening. Items 2 and item 3 are related. One pertains to the rezoning, the other one pertains to the specific use permit. But before we get to those, we'll move back to item number 1, resolution number 2024-112, approving the funding of a loan from the facade revolving loan fund program for construction of a facade improvements by Hayes Days Holdings, LLC, to the buildings at 216 to 224 West 3rd Street, Texarkana, Texas, in an amount not to exceed $50,000 for 2 properties for a total of $100,000. This time I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Not seeing anyone coming forward. This time I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis, a second by Councilmember Page. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes unanimously. Item number 2 is ordinance number 2024-114, rezoning from Industrial 1 to Single Family 3 on Lot 3, Block 2, Carpenter's Edition, located at 2302 James Street. Billy Jacobs, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for, is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
Okay. Councilmember Thompson made the motion, and then we may have to flip a coin between Page. Okay, you're going to yield? Okay, so Ms. Page yields to Ms. Hart. All right, so Councilmember Thompson's made the motion. Councilmember Hart has seconded the motion. All right, Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas by rezoning Lot 3, Block 2, Carpenter's Edition, located at 2302 James Street in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from Industrial 1 to Single Family 3, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 3, ordinance number 2024-115, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a single-wide HUD code manufactured home on Lot 3, Block 2, Carpenter's Edition, located at 2302 James Street. Billy Jacobs, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. If anyone would like to address the council on this item, please come forward and state your name for the record. Once again, not seeing anyone coming forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Thompson. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
Of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-792 to allow the location of a single-wide HUD code manufactured home on Lot 3, Block 2, Carpenter's Edition, located at 2302 James Street in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. This concludes our public hearings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to the city manager's report. Dr. Orr?
Dates to pass along to you tonight. First off, our third quarter economic development report is in. It includes information on new developments that are planned, new retail that's opened, commercial construction permits, and much more. The big news from this report, and fittingly since Paul's here tonight, was the new Jim E. Yates terminal that opened at Texarkana Regional Airport. So for more information on our economic development efforts, you can check out the city's webpage at texarkanatexas.gov/economic development. And to follow up, Mayor, on the Major League Fishing Tournament that the city is hosting this week, we have saved the date for a angler meet and greet. It'll take place this Wednesday, October 16th from 5:30 to 6:30 at Bubba's 33. You should also have some flyers at your desk with that information on it as well. So I encourage you to stop by and help us spread the word for that event. We'll have about 150 anglers in town throughout the week. So staff will be busy hosting and working through the tournament.
And once again, this is a new group that's coming to town for this particular tournament.
That's correct. This is the first time in a while that we've hosted Major League Fishing.
Okay. All right. Well, certainly hope we have good weather this weekend or later this week for this event. Look forward to having these anglers in town with us. So it's going to be a great positive economic impact for our community. All right. Anything else?
No further updates.
That's it? Okay. All right. Now move along to administrative comments. Any comments this evening from the council?
I have one comment.
Ms. Matlock?
Saturday is the Tough Cookie Foundation Annual Breast Cancer Awareness at Texas A&M.
Okay. I believe that's at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, 8 a.m. Okay, Saturday. So Tough Cookie Awareness for Breast Cancer.
And Mayor, if I could,
Mr. Davis.
just commend all the city staff with all of the National Night Out. I was able to attend a few of those before I went to my own neighborhood and hung out for a little bit, and it was well attended by city staff, and appreciate all that it takes to pull that off.
Yeah, I appreciate that comment, Mr. Davis. I believe we had 34 block parties scheduled this year. Normally we have around 20 to 22, and so I think this sends a signal from our citizens that they support our police and fire personnel. And as Mr. Davis mentioned, I'm able to make about 6 of these block parties, and I found them to be very, very informative, and the residents really appreciated the interaction with our police officers and our firefighters, and it was just a great evening. We had very good weather for that this year, and so just want to thank you for all of those who participated and all of our citizens who joined together to host these various block parties across the city. They were very well attended. So
I agree, and I would like to specifically say that I appreciated the police officers and the fire department for coming out to the Ward 3 event. It was very nice. Thank you.
all right, very good. We look forward to this event coming up next year and be here before you know it. So, all right. Any other comments from the council this evening? All right. Any final comments from the staff, Dr. Orr?
No further comments.
Okay. All right. Very good. So, unless there's any further business brought for the council, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock and a second by Councilmember Page. Once again, we want to thank our Boy Scouts and their leaders here from Troop 86 this evening. We appreciate your being with us this evening. So we have a motion and a second for adjournment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all very much for being here, and certainly hope you have a great rest of your evening.